Sioni God, Jackie Wolhatley Daladala. Hello everyone, my name is Jackie Eagle.
I'm Gentry Reit-Kirk.
And today with us we have Doc and Max, and we are going to be learning how to make Cherokee round reed baskets. So to start, we've got hot water or warm water. You can use any kind of water, but warm water works best. The reed gets softer faster. So I tend to use warm water. And then you've got scissors, and we've got our reed. And the reed we're using today is a number 2 sized reed. You can get reed online or here in Tahlequah, you can get it from the Spider Gallery, and it comes in multiple different sizes. And the number of the size is like the size of the reed. So this is a number 2, and then like that one over there. Gentry, if you want to pass it on that little reed. This is a number 1, so it's a lot smaller. So they'll do that is get the smaller reed for like mini baskets and things like that. You can really do whatever you want with a basket. But to start off, these pieces, these long pieces rolled up are called runners. And then we've got some pre-cut shorter pieces. These are called spokes. So these are gonna make like the backbone of your basket. So you've got to get 12 each. And then you want to keep everything soaking in water. If it starts to dry out, you want to kind of soak it back in the water. I've got a bigger bucket of water over here too for like when you need to do your whole basket or spokes, because they don't quite fit in these. And the spokes, these you can cut to be any length you want. It really depends on what size basket you want. So if you want a really big basket, or if you want to do a double wall, you've got to do the longer spokes so you have that extra material. She orders 12. Yeah, and make sure you've got 12 all together. So you've got your 12, and then you're going to get one of the longer ones, one of the runners, and go ahead and unravel it. So when it comes to baskets, there are 2 parts. You have long pieces of reed, like these that we're unraveling. These are called your runners. And then you have short pieces of reed that you cut. These are called your spokes. These are going to be what makes up the backbone of your basket. So once you get it unraveled, you want to try and kind of get these all to be about the same length. Kind of even them up a little bit. So now what you're going to do is you're going to split it into 2 groups of 6. And you want to kind of try and lay them flat, sort of like this, side by side with each other. I just dyed these last night, so I was afraid that it might run. So when you dye the reed, you can use commercial dye, but you've got to rinse it out really well, and it's best to dye it and rinse it, let it dry, and then rinse it again.
So you want to dye it soon, otherwise it might ruin the water?
Yeah, so if you don't get it rinsed out really well, it'll turn the water this color, and then it'll dye all your natural reed that color too. So I had some purple ones that happened with, and now I've got a really light lilac color that used to be my natural reed. So
I'm sure it's pretty.
it is very pretty.
Right, once you got your 6.
And if they get uneven, that's okay. And you want to get probably towards the middle, because what we're going to do next is lay them on top of each other like a cross. And this is the hardest part of the basket, I'll tell you, is starting it. So then we're going to lay them on top of each other like a cross. You can see on the interweb. You'll just stick them on top of each other like a cross here. And then you're going to take your long piece. And see, this is where the hard part comes in, is you got to hold and move stuff.
Oh, it'll work our way up.
Yep.
Okay, so. Yeah, reed.
So you're going to take this and you're going to lay it on whatever your top section is. You're going to lay it down beside that one and pull it out till it's the same length as all your others. So it'll just lay here like this. What you're going to do is you've got this one here, and you've got the long piece that's coming out here. You're going to go underneath this one here at the top and kind of wrap it behind it. And then you're going to go over the next section, and then under, and then over. So we've got to our 3. So we've got our cross here. We're going to lay the long piece across here. And then where it's long on this end, come across the back, over, under, over. And then you'll do this 3 times. Till it looks about like that. And then from here is where we're going to start splitting them into different sizes or groups pieces. Yeah, groups. But before we do that, we need to add in one more spoke because you have to have an even number.
Oh, like because 3's odd and 4's even.
Mm-hmm.
So we do it one more.
Yeah, we're going to put in one more. So where you added the 1 the first time.
So you do it one more time like you done on the other.
Yeah. So you got yours here that you've added, right? On yours. What you're going to do is you're going to take the other end of your reed, this end, so the far end, like the really, really long one. Yeah, go to the end of that one. And so for the extra piece, what we're going to do to get our even number is we're going to take our far end. So find where we added in. This is where we added 1. 6, yeah, that's got our 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this far end. We're going to come up this hole again. Get it about the length we want it with the rest of our spokes. And then go back through this hole like we did with the other one. Except what's going to make this one different is that when we get it in here, we're going to cut it off right here.
Oh,
And that gives you your runner back while adding in your extra spoke.
like and like what do I do to the other ones?
Yep.
Well, you're good to go, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
I'm
good.
good to go. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So here's where you add it.
Awesome.
So for yours, you'll go through this hole here from the back side.
This one?
Yep. Measure it to be about the right length. And it's a little long. Yeah. And we'll go back through this hole. Pull this. And then you cut this one off right here. All the way like as because it'll stay with it being tight in there. It will pull out.
Oh, that's fun.
That's cool, okay.
Yeah.
And now I have to figure out what did Jackie just do. I can't remember.
So right here is where we added in the first
Okay.
one,
I got you.
and so then we just added in one to match it.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, and so the purpose of that is you've got to have an even number of spokes because we'll start splitting them into groups of 2 next. And so you want all of them to be in a group of 2. You don't have to do that. Yeah,
We have to or
you do have to put them in groups of 2. You don't have to add in an extra spoke. There's another way you can do it, but you'll end up with 2 groups of 3. And it's a personal preference thing. And I like having even.
oh, and what do mean bananas say to people?
What?
Banana.
Yeah, and if you need to soak it down at any point, feel free to do that. If you don't, it might start cracking. So like you'll get a break in the reed. Sometimes it'll break completely. Sometimes it'll hang on. So we've got our extra spokes in. We're ready to go to the next step. Now what you're gonna do is when you're looking at it, so for me, I'm on an over. So it's come over here. So we're gonna start breaking it into groups of 2. So you'll grab 2 of them, like the closest 2. And for me, I'm on an over, so I'm gonna go under them. If you're on an under, you'll go over. So you're gonna do the opposite. So now we're gonna start splitting them up. So right here, you're underneath, right? So you're gonna grab 2 of them here, your next 2, pull them apart. You're gonna go over. Then you're gonna pull apart 2. You'll go under the next one, and then 2, and then over. And you're gonna keep doing that all the way around.
So, every 2.
Yep, and then you just keep going around. You can pull them apart as you go
Okay.
to kind of separate them. But until the second time around, they won't start to hold in place.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So like here, you're under, you'll grab 2, and that'll be over.
Over. Okay.
Yep.
And like it's okay if it's like it's next to it because they're
Yeah.
not under. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the beginning it starts out next to it, and then it'll, after we split them, that's when it'll start going over and under all the time.
How you doing, buddy?
I think I'm doing
How you doing?
okay.
Okay. Okay. Under and over. Under and over.
Yeah, and then you just want to kind of pull them up there towards the top. So it's you want to try and keep holes for being in your basket. You gotta push it up. And you'll just kind of push this up in here. Yeah, there you go. And your 2, 2, and 2. Yeah, that looks good. Good job, Max. How you doing?
So then you just want to.
Yeah, it'll look kind of crazy.
So then you flip over.
And if you have to take stuff out of your basket, that's okay. That happens a lot. Sometimes you'll get Reed that just doesn't want to cooperate.
That's upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you just keep doing, you'll do that all the way through. And you want to just kind of keep pulling them apart, making it look like a spider. And then a good way to check is when you start weaving, they'll always be opposite. So if you went under one the time before, you should go over it the next time around. And if one of these does break or something, we can fix it. How you doing, Doc?
Oh, not as good as Max, but
You get on that second round, they'll really start holding in place when you pull them apart.
but it's okay. I just need to pull them apart a little.
Yeah, and you gotta make sure you keep them in order.
Is this right?
Yeah, yeah, it looks really good. Yep, you're doing right. Over, under, and you just keep going
Around. Or do you just
until you finish the basket.
Until you finish this?
Yeah, so you finish your basket.
Well, if you want your basket to be bigger than just this one piece, we can add in another piece.
Ooh, I think I might stick a small piece.
But yeah, and so now you're just gonna go over, under, all the way around.
Until I use this entire thing up.
Until this is as big around as you want the bottom of your basket to be.
Okay. Then we'll cut this off.
Then we'll turn up the sides. Yeah, and so these are Cherokee round reed baskets. Traditionally, we would have used things like honeysuckle and buckbrush.
So if it was ripped back in the old ones.
Mhm. Or you could even do it now. You just have to find all the materials.
Oh, the right materials.
Yeah,
Otherwise it won't turn out right.
yeah, and it's a lot of hard work because when you get your honeysuckle and your buckbrush, you then gotta soak it and strip the bark off of it.
Oh, because you have to get it off a tree or something?
Well, they're vines.
Oh, yeah,
Vines on
some
the
vines
ground.
have, yeah.
Yeah. So round reed baskets are something that became more prominent when we came to Oklahoma. We have them in the East, but we didn't use them as much. Traditionally, our most common type of basket was a River King flat reed basket. It was a double walled River King flat reed basket, and the weave on them was so fine that you could coat them with like beeswax or bear grease or something, and they would actually hold water.
Oh, that's interesting.
These don't do that,
Oh,
but
okay, like these have holes in the
yeah,
Mine's definitely got holes in the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Round reed, unfortunately, there's too many gaps because of the material.
Yeah, look.
Yeah. We also traditionally made flat reed baskets like these over here. They would be made, yep.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, those are made out of the saplings of hardwoods, white oak, ash, things like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can hold
touch
the
it.
berries.
Mhm.
I get them because they got old water at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. So those you would take the saplings, strip the bark, cut them into like squares or staves, and then they would cut those into the thin strips. So each of those thin strips on that basket have been hand cut.
Oh, so, I see these are wood.
Mhm.
I see the bark. I wonder how, question, how do you guys make the holes in here for the thing?
They probably used a drill of some kind.
Oh, maybe like a sharp stick and stab it in there?
Traditionally we would have used like a stone.
Oh, yeah.
And this device we had that it had a round stone on the bottom and like an arrowhead. And so it had a string on it too and another stick where when you pulled down on it, it made it spin. And so you could go up and down. It was like
The drill?
yeah.
I got a lot of space in mine. Is that normal?
It usually starting out it is. It has to do with like the pressure. And when you go to put the reed like into the gaps. So what I do, I use my thumb to kind of push it like way up in here. And that's how you get the tighter weave. And that's just something that comes with practice.
So it's totally normal at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times, a lot of people's first baskets will actually be like a plate. And that's
What?
perfectly fine.
Okay, that's good. That's what I'm shooting for. Yeah. How are you doing over there? What are you? Don't get tangled up in it.
Yeah, looking good. And then, of course, if you pull really tight on your reed, it'll make your basket start to curve.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's interesting. I think I'm up and stuck.
That's happening.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Even to you?
Yep. Baskets can be really frustrating. They don't always want to cooperate.
They don't like you.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes it just hates you.
Yep. Especially flat reed baskets. Those are so, the first time you make one, it's pretty difficult.
Oh, these buttons actually?
Yep.
They do look hard. It does look hard.
Yeah, especially when you get to the part where you are ready to turn them up to make the walls.
Oh, but
They don't like to stay. I've had many I don't know, I guess master basket weaver be like, you're gonna want to throw this basket through the window. That's okay, but don't. So
That's pretty normal with anything, I think. Don't you think, Matt?
yeah.
Like when you first do something, it's kind of tricky sometimes, and then you just kind of makes a little crack.
So we can make it how big we want it.
yep. Yeah, you can make baskets as big as you want. I have seen baskets, brown reed Cherokee baskets, big enough to hold babies.
Wow.
I've seen some with wider, not this thin of reed, but a lot thicker reed. make really huge baskets.
So is it, I guess each size of reed has its like advantages and disadvantages, like, you know. So not, the smaller one's not necessarily easier of the reed to work with than the other one.
Not necessarily. I mean, it has its upsides. You can soak it and it's ready to use a lot quicker because it doesn't have to soak as long. Alternatively, it dries out a lot quicker. On the smaller ones, if you're trying to make anything of a larger size, you usually have to add in spokes because after a certain point, it becomes really unstable. So it really just kind of depends on what you're trying to do with it as to like what size of reed you would need. And then you can always add in spokes. A lot of times for the really big oval baskets, they'll do that to give them the stability.
What's one of the wood ones called?
That is a round and flat reed basket. That one's made out of honeysuckle and white oak.
Oh,
And that brown color on it is actually walnut.
walnut.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know they could use walnut instead of for eating.
Yeah. So traditionally, we used a lot of natural products to dye reed. The walnuts, you know, when you get them from the tree, they've got that really dark black shell on the outside before you get to the hard shell. That outer husk, we'll boil it in water, and that's what gives it that color. Or like pokeberries, we'll use the berries off of those.
I think I got it. I think if I want.
Well, no, you gotta keep going. It's not a basket. It's just like a hat.
Yeah.
That's okay. So
Like this.
if you want to make it bigger, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start pulling tighter on the reed.
I think I feel like this will break if I pull too hard on it.
So when you're going over and under, you just pull a little tighter and it'll start to curve up like that. And if you're worried that it's gonna break, just soak it in some water. Okay. And then you just pull and see how it's starting to turn upwards. Yeah, just pull tight. You can also, anytime you go over one, so it may be easier to flip it over. Do this. So anytime you go over one, you can bend it down too. There you go.
Down to with the little curves at the bottom, which is good. I'm doing.
Yep, and we can put something on top of it to make it sit a little flatter if we need to when we get finished.
Do we have to let these dry, or we can take them home instantly?
You can take them home with you, but you'll have to let them dry out.
Otherwise, they will break. Might break.
No, they'll just get they could mold if you don't let them dry out
Mold?
completely because they're water.
Oh,
Yeah. So what I do for the getting it close to the gap top, I'll take my thumb like this, and then I'll just kind of weave it back and forth like that, getting it really tight up in there. But like I said, all of those things are just practice.
And I feel like I can fiddle with it. Once I get around,
Yeah.
then I can work the ones closer to it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine too. That's what a lot of people do. It's really hard in the beginning because they're all so close together.
It was several years ago, I made a basket. I went to Minnesota and made an ash basket
Oh, nice.
from scratch. So we took the ash tree and we carved the pieces out of the actual section. And that was difficult, and my basket couldn't hold my car keys. There's so many holes in it. But it was really fun because if you saw it from the beginning to the end,
Yeah.
and I didn't think about how would you weave baskets with trees.
this looks good.
So okay, and to make it turn up, you can either pull tighter or like as you go over one, you can push it down.
Oh, okay.
So you go like over, push it down, and then under, and then over, and then push it down.
Okay. So I should be pushing these down.
If you want to make walls now, if you're not ready to make walls yet, just keep weaving out.
It can be something like look like a big cup.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've seen people, they'll take water bottles or mugs and they'll weave around them.
Oh, I like it. They don't. It's just like decoration.
Yeah.
I get it. That's actually interesting.
Yeah, and you can do it without the stuff. It's just a lot easier when there's something on the inside to weave around.
Oh, I get it. Plus, this might fall out. The water might fall out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They
with
could
boundary.
Hey, they could actually just use a big hunk of wood and carve a little flat hole in it, or a
Oh,
little
to put it in the bottom?
like a hole like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, you're doing great.
But yeah, I really want to do a honeysuckle basket like that. Go out, gather the honeysuckle, strip the bark.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
have are there any honeysuckles around here?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm around here, yeah.
They're everywhere.
We have some. I'll show you when we go home.
Oh,
In the pasture.
Oh.
In the field.
Yeah, they like to grow on fence lines.
oh, I thought.
Yeah, and they're yellow and white. Some of them are kind of white. You can take the blossom and stuff on it.
Really?
Tastes like honey.
I want to try it.
Okay.
Suck on one.
Okay. Let's see if we can find
Is it bad for you or is it good?
No, it's just nectar.
it.
Oh, so you'll be a bee.
Yep.
You're like a bee then.
That's right.
But you don't buzz around and fly
That's right.
and
You're-
sting people and die.
Yep.
I can actually see it starting to touch. This actually looks like it's a little bowl here.
It is.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
jellyfish. But it's a very thin. It's a very dumb jellyfish. It doesn't have a bunch of brain.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could make a jellyfish if you wanted. I've seen them make turtles. I've
Ooh.
seen
How are these?
pigs, frogs. Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't. Do you know how to make them?
I know how to make a turtle, and I think my next project is going to be a dinosaur.
What is
A
it? What is it?
Parasaurolophus,
What's that one? Is
the
that
one with the thing on its head.
The weird.
The like,
the long neck thing? Or
no, it looks
Looks like a
ducky.
quack.
Yeah.
From Land Before. It's ducky, but like with the horn.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. We cool. So, well, that's my favorite dinosaur too.
Yeah, awesome. I love Mexico.
Yeah, I love cookie.
Yeah. People will be like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm like, yep. I'll type it out. I'm like, yep.
We were just looking at dinosaurs.
Yeah, we were yesterday.
Yeah. Checking out one of your books. Max, what's your favorite dinosaur?
I thought they Spinosaurus.
Oh, Spine. That's because he's big.
He's bigger than T-Rex.
I know. It's so scary.
I know.
Gentry, do you have a favorite dinosaur?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you need
You just
one.
like dinosaurs. Hey, this looks like it holds steady for you.
Yeah.
Might just fall down.
You're
Like
doing great, man.
We'll finish it up. You see the top of these baskets over here? See how they're kind of finished at the top without the spikies? This one in the front.
The little one?
Yeah.
Oh, I see those little spikies.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
these
finish it so that there's not spikies on ours.
Oh, there's some people like spikies. Oh, can we get them with spikies or?
I mean, if you really want to, yeah,
Sure.
you could leave it as spikies.
Oh, I kind of want spikies.
Oh, yeah.
If that's fine with Mama.
Whatever you want, man.
Yay.
So this is probably closer to what we're gonna make. What we're making today, a single wall of boundary. So see how it's finished at the top.
Yeah.
We can do that, or you could leave it as spikies if you
Oh,
want.
Yeah, mine's not gonna make it.
I'm gonna do this one.
Okay.
Where is in here? These?
Yep. We use it as a pencil holder.
Oh, good.
Oh, I get it because it can go like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put this.
Yeah. That's
Nice beans. But don't spill the beans. How am I doing?
yeah. It's looking good.
You're doing great.
You're doing good too.
So when
Mom.
you're ready to start turning up your basket, you've got your flat part. What you can do is as you weave,
Dang.
you're going around
Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed.
When you go over a spoke, you push it down. Then you'll go under, over, push it down. Under, over, and push it down. And you pull just a little bit tighter here, and that'll help you start turning your basket up, and then it'll make whoops. That's okay.
It's not even.
It used to take
Look at
me,
Gentry over there. She's like,
She's a master.
I think when I started in school, it used to take me like 3 days to get one like this.
oh yeah.
What?
Oh, wow.
But now it takes like a few hours.
She probably did it 10 minutes.
10
Yeah,
minutes.
no, I'm not that fast. I don't weave quite like the wind, but I am significantly faster than I used to be. I think I've been weaving since
College?
4th grade,
Whoa!
5th grade.
What grade you going in?
Wow.
Yes, I've been
Great.
weaving, not like every day, but I've been weaving since I was about your age.
Wow. Well, I think I raised house.
Oh, that's okay. We can add more to it.
That's quick.
Your basket is good. I'm like, where's the basket?
So when you get ready to add one in, you're gonna get another runner.
Another one.
We're gonna untangle it. Do we drop it in?
Yeah. Oh, thanks. And now what do I do?
So you'll take one end of your new runner. You're gonna find where you stop here. And then you're gonna take and you're gonna lay this here. And then you're gonna go back to doing over and under. Okay? And you might have to hold that in place until you get around one time.
Oh, but and then you will run away from you.
But once you get around one time, it'll hold it in place there. So yeah, and then you just keep doing under and over. Yeah, and that's when you're picking runners from your roll of reed. Your really long pieces is what you want to use as runners, because then you don't have to add them in as much.
Oh, right.
I don't think I'm going to blow at this.
I don't know.
That's pretty good.
A couple decades from now, we might be seeing you winning up gold medals at the Trail of Tears art show or something.
Hey, cool.
Where is the Trail of Tears art show?
It's usually at the Heritage Center, isn't it? Or is it the one at the Armory? No, that's the homecoming one at the Armory.
The homecoming.
It's usually at the Heritage Center. But last I knew, the Heritage Center was still closed.
Whoa.
So I don't
Why?
know.
Because of COVID.
I remember now.
So if you need to add in a spoke, it's pretty easy. All you're gonna do is find in your basket where your last spoke finished. So for me, it's right here. You're gonna take your new runner. You're gonna lay it right there on top of it, kind of hold it in place. And then you're gonna go back to doing over, under, over, under. You might have to hold it in place here for a little bit till you get all the way around. But you just go back to doing over, under. And then you'll get all the way back around and it'll hold in place and just keep going. Yeah, it looks so good, Matt.
It does.
And then whenever you're ready to add in some color, let me know.
How many colors can you add in it?
As many as you want.
Ooh,
What color does she?
red and green.
Yeah. Red and green. Yeah, you told her, you asked for green, right? Remember?
Who chose red?
Oh, I just picked some other colors. I was gonna do blue too, but I ran out of time
Oh,
and sink space.
that's okay. I think it still looks pretty cool.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's you're making the turtle?
Mhm.
That shell?
This is gonna be the body.
Oh, it's body. Okay. Interesting.
When it says to pull over, what do we do with the turtle?
We take it to the place where it's headed.
That's right.
Yeah. Unless it's a box turtle and about yay big, and then you might keep it and bring it to you. About that big around.
Why?
We traditionally use turtle shells to make something we call a shackle. shackles. And our women wear them on their feet at stomp dance, and they shake shells to provide the rhythm and the beat of the songs.
Ooh,
And so,
if we ever buy one, I think Mama should wear it.
well, you actually put about 7 on each leg.
That would be
Whoa.
heavy, huh?
Mhm.
One in my grandma's backyard the other day.
Oh,
Yeah.
My
yeah.
dad was mowing the lawn, he found it. He came and like put it on the patio. My little girls were back there. Like they'd never seen one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to find them in the field behind my house, pasture behind my house, and I'd scoop them up and I'd bring them to the house and I'd like feed them lettuce and turtle food for a couple weeks, and then I'd bring them back into the wild. And you don't have to finish that one to add in color. Whenever you're ready to add in color, we can cut it and you can just add in color.
Do you want to add color in, Max, or do you want to wait a little bit? Up to you.
Wait,
Okay.
I got finished. I want to finish this one.
And you probably want to leave at least 3 inches at the end to finish off, like at the end of the
Oh,
spokes.
for like me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 3 inches?
Because if you get them too short, they won't hold.
Oh, you might have to help me on the top part.
Yeah, I'll help you with that part. And then, so the most common round reed basket that we make is called a double wall round reed. So this is a single wall, and so you can see it's just like a single layer of reed. Whereas this one is a double wall.
Oh, I see.
And so you weave up and then you weave back down to give it, I guess, a sturdier
That's cool.
basket. But that's the most common.
Have
is
you
the
guys
round
ever,
reed double round.
did people ever find any of the old baskets that the Cherokee people made?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Gilcrease has a couple. I think the museum in North Carolina, the Cherokee Museum there has some.
Have we been to the Cherokee?
In North Carolina, no.
Oh, yeah, we never gone there.
Yeah, you haven't been to North Carolina.
Have you?
But yeah.
Have you ever gone to that place?
No, I was looking at
And so with the most common, with the most common one being double wall, I can show you all how to do it. We're not going to do double wall today, but that's part of the turtle. So what you do to do that is you're going to keep weaving the same way you go. But what you do is you take your spokes and you'll go behind one and then just bring it down. So you'll go behind one and then just bring it down. So you want your spokes to be really wet when you do this. And so we'll do this all the way around and then we'll start weaving again back down.
Wow.
So you got your spokes. You'll take one of them, go behind the next one, and hold it in place. Take the next one, go behind the one to it, next to it. And then you'll do this all the way around. And then when you get to this last one, you'll take it and you'll just stick it in here into that first loop you made, so that we go behind it. And then from here, you can tighten up all your loops. I like them really tight. You don't have to leave them tight if you don't want to. And then with that, you've got your runner. And so now you've got your new spokes. So you'll pull this down kind of in the middle, the other two originally. And so we'll go over that one. We'll go under the next one, over, under, over. And you've got to pull a little tighter here too to try and keep everything in place. And then you'll just keep weaving back down.
You ran out, Reese.
Yeah. Jackie, can you show me what to do?
So you'll get a new runner. And you don't have to roll up the wreath like this. I do it when I prep the wreath just because it makes it a lot easier to, things don't get tangled up.
Oh yeah, I get it.
It's a lot easier to deal with rolls of wreath than a whole bundle. That's
Like Christmas lights or something.
so what you're gonna do, I like to put them on the inside of the basket. That's up to you.
Yeah.
And so you'll cut it just a little bit past there so that it'll hold.
Okay.
And then you'll take this one and just lay it on top of it. And then you'll just go back to over under.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you may just have to hold that one there until you get back around one time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I have some
Color?
got some color, please? Like
Yes.
I have your I have some green, please.
Yep.
Okay. So Jackie finished what she's gonna.
And then you just add it in like you did the other wreath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same exact thing.
Did the dye ever wear off?
If it sits out in the sun, it can. Because it's not natural dyes, they can fade over time. So like that one, the purple and yellow one, that used to be a lot brighter.
Oh,
But I did that by senior year of high school, I think.
wow, you done good.
Yeah. Cherokee Nation does art camps, and part of it is traditional arts. And so I got to spend a couple summers weaving baskets with some of our national charters,
That's awesome.
which is really exciting.
Yeah, that's an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely, I'm very thankful it's a program we have, and it's been expanded, so now it's arts and STEM as well, so.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it's a focus on, indigenous methodologies and art histories and things like that.
That's great because it's like a holistic approach.
Yeah, and we'll even, some of the STEM classes, I know they went out and did like water samples and like earth samples and different things. So it's like a lot, like really hardcore STEM stuff too, which is really cool.
Is that program, what are the ages for that program?
It's usually 12 to 18. I think it's typically like 6th through seniors, 6th grade through seniors. This year it's a lot smaller. They're just doing 16 and up, and everyone has to be vaccinated.
Oh, right.
So like this year's a lot different, and then they didn't do it last year. But typically there's the residential campus, like 6th grade through seniors in high school, and then they do day camps as well for the younger ones. And then whenever you are finished with your basket, let me know, and we'll finish them off. You decide you're done.
How do you think I'm doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
I like those colors.
Me too.
You're doing very nice.
Thanks. I'm quick on these leaves.
Yeah, picking up on it like a pro. Natural.
I'm just a natural person.
Oh. Your basket's big.
Yeah, it's looking good.
I like those colors.
It looks bigger than those ones.
And that's perfectly fine.
What you gonna use your basket for, Max? Your oatmeal, your beans?
What are you
I think I'm gonna put that. I don't know. I think I'll put cherries in them if we have
Yeah.
Oh,
cherries.
yeah, you think so?
You said your cherry tomatoes, maybe we can.
Oh, I don't like cherry tomatoes.
It can be your garden basket.
Yeah, your garden.
There you go. Put some beans in there.
It could be
Ooh,
What's it? The Northwestern tribes, a lot of them
Oh,
have
yeah.
woven hats. And then you can also, to make smaller baskets, you can use less spokes. So like this one, I'm doing 8 instead of 12.
Mm.
So I'll do 4 and 4, and then I'll add in 2 more still. Yeah, your baskets are looking so good.
Are you about done with yours? Or are you gonna put another one on?
This see, it's terrible holy water.
That's okay.
Mine is too.
Hey, this looks better
We
than mine.
usually use pottery for our water containers. It's just a little fun fact.
Ooh, so that'd be better,
Oh,
right?
this is
Yeah.
better.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, see?
Well, yours is, I like yours, I like the shape of yours. It's cool. I like that.
Wow. It's tiny. What are you gonna put in it?
This is gonna be the head of the turtle.
Ooh.
Oh, you make it's a basket turtle. So it's all made out of baskets.
Yep.
What's the whole shell look like? It's gonna look like something like this?
Yep.
Oh, I get it.
This is like
A little bit smaller probably because I'm making a small turtle.
This is like a hat.
I like it.
It might be a hat.
Well, the test will be if I can remember how to get started.
That's okay. That's the
But what did-
hardest part.
But when to do it again, you know, because once you get going, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and we're planning to do like a culture video series. So we're hoping to get like a new video uploaded every week, like to YouTube and Facebook and stuff. So
Cool.
it should be out there. So like if you forget, you'll be able to like go to the video and watch.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. That's kind of the hope with these is to get that knowledge of crafts and like foraging and things like that out there.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you were talking about dyeing these with walnut and then berries. What else do you guys use?
So our browns and blacks come from the black walnut and hickory shells.
Oh, okay.
Where did the green and red come from?
Red, I think the closest we probably got was the pokeberries, maybe clay. We may have used
Oh,
some
right.
to try and dye it,
Right.
probably not very often. Oranges and yellows we got from yellow root and bloodroot.
Okay.
And really, I think it was just kind of, your grays, your browns, your oranges, your yellows. Those were more of the colors we had because that's just kind of the material we had available.
This really looks like a hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks really good.
I might turn this pot or this thing into a hat
Yeah. There you go.
and wear it to school.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
I should wear it to school.
Okay.
Is that fine with you?
Sure.
If they let me.
That's pretty good.
I probably have to stuff it in my bag if they don't allow it.
Are you gonna make? Did you already finish your other one?
Yeah, I already finished it.
Wow, you're fast. Well, are you finished or? You
No, I'm
wanna-
still working on it.
Oh, okay. Because when you're done, then Jackie will help us finish it.
I'm using too much to read.
It's okay, isn't it?
What was
Yeah,
using all
this is the roll you brought, so if you want
Oh.
to take it back with you.
Oh,
or-
no, it's fine. I just
You
didn't
should
want to
take it.
use all of your
Oh,
stash
yeah, no,
or whatever.
no, this, the roll you brought is, what we're using for this, and it's just gonna be used for this,
Oh, okay.
so you're good.
Okay. So I don't want to get into your whatever you guys have.
No. We didn't have any here, I
Oh.
think I had some at home, and so I
Mm.
grabbed some out of that to use the dye, but it's not a big deal. And that's, I didn't know if like you'd want to take it, so you could do in baskets, because it's yours, which is perfectly fine, so.
Yeah, no, that's fine. When we do it again, we can just go get some. I just didn't want to use all your stuff.
No.
This is good, Mom.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we actually went through all of the reed the other day. We had people take it with them
Oh, right.
to finish off their baskets and stuff.
Jackie, I got to I think I'm ready to finish. Oh, it looks like maybe I guess I need to cut that. I didn't hold it maybe. when I
Yeah,
started
that's
it or
up to
something.
you. You can cut it or you can leave it like that since it's the inside. It's really up to you.
Oh, okay.
because you can't see it from the outside or anything, and it all looks correct. So,
All right, so what do I need to do next?
so I guess we need to decide how you want to do it. If you want to finish it kind of like this, like a braid looking, or we could do something like this,
Okay.
and do like loops where we stick it back in.
Well, what do you think I can do?
The braid one might be the easiest.
Okay, let's do that.
So then to do that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go around, you're gonna take a spoke, and you're just gonna go behind the next one. You're gonna do that all the way around. And then when you get to here, you'll just put this one through here. And then once you get that part, I'll show you the next step.
Awesome.
I think I might want to leave my hat how it is.
Oh, yeah?
Ta-da!
I used to have some Pokemon cards. I
Oh,
don't-
my hat.
Nice.
I like it. Do you want to finish it up,
You
the
wanna-
ends, or do you want to leave them like that? Or
What you like?
Or do you want to
Mhm.
trim them, or what do
I
you
want
want to?
some more.
see what we could do if you wanted
Oh,
is we could make it look kind of like that all the way around, or do you want to just leave them?
oh, I don't want to like on here. These pieces.
Okay. So do you want it to just be flat then?
Yeah.
And what we'll do, first we're gonna let it soak for a
Yeah.
little bit. And then we'll trim them down and fold them over. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one and go behind it. So, and then kind of hold it, take one and go behind it.
Okay.
Take one and go behind it. And we'll do this all the way around.
I look at those.
What do you do with the last one? The last one, you're gonna take, and you're gonna go behind your first loop you made, and then pull it through that gap. Like that. And then you should be able to let go and it'll hold. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your pieces here, and you're gonna go in front of this one, and then put it through the next hole. Just pull it through like that. I like to leave them that flat. They don't have to be. You just pull it through like that, and then these pieces you can either tuck in or like I'll trim them down and then just tuck them in. Okay.
So let's see if I, okay, so
You go to your next book
this one, and then it goes in here, yeah?
in front, yep, over the
front?
other one.
Okay.
So this will be your next one.
Okay, so then this one goes, it goes over.
And then, yeah, I'll just, usually what I do is I'll trim these down probably to about here. Just kind of tuck it in. Like up here.
Okay.
And it kind of gets them out of the way for you.
This one, over.
Just like that.
Okay, cool, thank
All
you.
the way around. You're welcome.
Or oh, you guys are working on the hat?
Hey, nice. Oh, I don't understand.
Mhm.
Is that the turtle head?
Yep, I'm gonna stick it, this is gonna be the body, and we're gonna stick it on there like that.
I'll stick it in there.
We'll use reed.
Oh. Oh, so like you put the through the
Yeah, like through there and then through the back.
cool.
Okay. So do you wanna just kind of
Cut those off.
fold them over like that and like make it flat like
Am I
that?
able to cut them off? Cut them off? Oh no, I don't think we can.
Yeah, we'll cut them off, but is that what you want? It's kind of a flat like that?
Yeah, I want it flat.
Okay. So what we can do, we'll cut it off. We'll cut it at kind of an angle. And then we'll come in here,
Stick them in.
just tuck it up, like right next to this one.
I'll tell them if anybody asks about that. I'll just tell them I built I built it by myself with some help.
Yeah. And then you just kind of stick them in there like that.
So I put them at an angle. Like where? The matter?
Probably about here.
At an angle?
Yep.
Dang.
Fold it over.
Stick them in.
Yep.
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 It was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this for us.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Oh, it's awesome. Cool. I sort of tried once, it was a long time ago on baskets, but never finished. And I always wanted to. It's good.
Yay, I'm glad we were able to get you to finish.
Yeah.
I gotta stick it in here. Right?
Yep.
So if it comes through, I could just stick it to these.
Thanks for letting us go.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to teach anytime. In my opinion, the more people we teach, the less misrepresentation we have. I don't know.
No, true.
I've always been of the mind, everyone's like, well, just Google. A lot of our information is not accurate on Google.
True.
And so if I'm leaving people to their own devices, they're more than likely going to get wrong information. So I'd rather teach. Yeah, I'd rather teach people than just let them go.
That's awesome.
And then our crafts and stuff, you don't see them as often. And so I like teaching them.
That's nice of you to let children come.
Yeah. You're the next generation. You're our future. So if we didn't let you come, how would you know?
I know, right? That's kind of cool. It turns out to be a hat.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I
like
could
it
just
a
wear
lot.
some Bailey. I could have Bailey's on my hat.
Mhm. Do you want to cut them and I can put them in for you?
Yeah, please. Is that fine with you?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you.
Wow, that's so cool. I did that.
Yeah.
Jackie helped me a lot.
You did most of it though.
That's awesome. The bottom needs a little work, but that was awesome.
That's okay. And if they're having trouble standing or something, you can just take a heavy object and kind of sit on the top of it like a book or something,
Oh.
and let it sit there till it dries, and it'll flatten out the bottom. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah. Good time. We really enjoyed it. I've been looking forward to it all week.
Us too, right?
Oh, look. I'll put this up.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people. Any excuse I have to do something culture, I'm like, I'll do it. Let me, please, 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 please. I think that's part of the reason I really wanted to come home, was to get back into all of this.
It's important. And
Yeah.
there's
This looks like straw.
I'm sure you guys hear it all the time, but it's not just crafts. It's there's stories that go along with it. Learn about all sorts of things.
Let's dance.
Yeah. Pretty good for my first day. What do you think? Is it okay? That was fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, that was fun.
That was wicked cool.
Yeah.
I like your hat.
Okay, there you go.
Wow. That's cool. Try it on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, what do you think about that?
That's good.
Wow, that's perfect.
Oh, nice. Nice. How did you make it so perfect?
I don't know.
natural.
And it even fit your head.
Yeah.
Cause I got the one roll.
Yeah.
Too.
No, no, one is.
I'm gonna make sure I keep that. I'm gonna
Are
make
you,
sure I
are
keep
you gonna put it on Facebook?
Maybe, I don't know, we might just keep it for.
No, not at all. Yeah, and like I said, I only.
We'll use it for
retyped back in.
our
I said
blooper
that
reel,
I
or fun reel.
had home, when I was dying, so it was just easier to open 10 of the long reads.
Oh, yeah.
Total, and we've got multiple left over, so. Yeah, it was a very small amount of reads that
Looking
I got. Comparatively.
Tell everybody thank you.
Thank you.
Do you remember? Do you remember? Remember her name? What was her name? Jackie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Do you remember her name? Gentry.
Gentry? Ashley?
Yeah, it's hard with
Matt.
masks on, isn't it? Yeah, all right. So, okay, you remember how to say thank you in Cherokee?
Wallow?
Wanda?
Wallow?
Yeah.
Hawa means you're welcome. Uh-huh. Yeah, can you tell them thank you in Korean?
I mean, the Theo?
No, that's hello.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Kamsahamnida? I got
Kamsahamnida.
mixed up.
Yeah, no, that's good. You did good.
Languages are hard.
They are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your hat. Here we go. How's that?
Good.
All right. You ready?
Mhm.
Well,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
so
coming.
much.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, I'm
We did
glad.
too.
Yeah, it was awesome.